Hi, and welcome to episode 50 of the Chronicles of Nidum, run by us here at Dice of the Beholder and streamed by the wonderful, ever-accommodating Heavyweight Gaming. Episode 50, half a century. Genuinely can't believe it's actually come to this. My players haven't quit because the storyline's too depressing. They're all still enjoying it. People are still watching for some reason. But no, episode 50. I'm very impressed with us, very happy, and really glad that whether you've joined us at the beginning or have gone back and watched and have caught up with now, thank you very much. Before we jump into the rest of episode 50, though, a couple of words to our sponsors. We're very happy to be sponsored by Loki Battle Mats, who are an award-winning UK-based TTRPG accessory creator. There are many books of battle mats, little, big, and giant sizes, full of amazing artwork that add an awesome backdrop to any tabletop game. If you're interested in finding out more, please search Loki Battle Mats on Facebook or visit lokibattlemats.com to view their amazing artwork and shop their physical and digital maps. Because I can see my players on Zoom. I really want to know what's going on right now, but I'm gonna carry on. I'll ask after the words from the sponsors. Our second sponsor, wonderful couple, is Blink Dog Dice. They're a small dice makers based in Cardiff, nice and local, and you can see amazing examples of their work available on their Etsy store. It's Blink Dog Dice, all one word. You'll find them that way on most social media platforms and Etsy as well. And you'll be able to see the links appear in the chat later on. So please go show them some love, especially around Christmas. It is well worth indulging your inner dice goblin or buying gifts for your friends. But yes, episode 50. So, AD, if you want to bring everyone else on the screen.
Basically, as soon as it started, Greg put into the chat on Zoom.
Nothing happened. There was nothing. Nothing happened
There's an echo, to which I said, have you left the stream open again? Because not 5 minutes ago, he was complaining about being able to hear music because he had the stream open.
I will remind you guys.
Replied, oh yeah, I've got the stream open.
I just want to remind you guys that I have other options for things I can do this evening. If you're just gonna pick on me, I'm gonna play Hades. I've been doing it all day, and I can carry on.
Anyway, hi everyone.
Hello.
Hello,
yes.
everybody. I don't sound like I've got a kazoo stuck in my throat anymore. I have an actual microphone.
Yeah.
I can hear my wifey's voice clear as day.
I'm not sat on my bed for once.
Yay! Oh, I miss your lights.
I know. I'll have to sort something out for.
I'm sure your spine doesn't miss the old
My
arrangement.
spine does not miss it one bit. Mostly my hips used to complain. So I'm on a dining room.
I've heard that they don't lie.
But I should be ordering a chair tomorrow when I get paid. So
I also did start laughing my tits off when you said small dice makers.
Do they make small dice?
They make regular sized dice.
Because I know them personally and I know how tall they are. They are small people.
They are quite short people. Let's not ever say we're not professional.
It's time to piss off the sponsors.
Welcome
to the portion of the Dice of the Beholder where we insult our sponsors on.
I love Mike and Vic.
Today's sponsor is
the two lads behind the Blink Dog Dice, and they are my sons.
They're very good boys.
They are very good boys.
Moving.
Oh yeah, let's go back to the trauma. Come on then.
Trauma.
Go on, bro. Could you give us a quick recap of what happened last week? Because I think we've all forgotten.
Last time on the Chronicles of Nidum,
everyone died.
After thwarting the assassination attempt on yourselves in your own home in the city of Felde, you questioned the one surviving member of the band of assassins who came after you and discovered that, working alone, they had been approached by your enemy, or the enemy of the Drow people and all humans under your care, and Cain, to take you out of the equation with a promise of safety for them and the rest of the Drow people. The Queen, being very unhappy with this, didn't really mind that they didn't survive the questioning process. And with this new news from the assassins and from the front, moved up the timeline of the Felde evacuation substantially. It was then the next morning that you all, at the head of a huge group of human refugees, started to make your way into the Underdark, away from the city. It took a couple of weeks without news from the front or without news from the city behind you before you eventually got to somewhere so hot that you realized you must be passing quite close to the fire giant area that you had visited previously. Oriana, having noticed the sounds of battle echoing through the corridors to one side, took it upon themselves with the power of flight to scout out.
And also the power of friendship.
Yeah, to scout out what was happening. It was there from almost half a kilometer away. Oriana spied the war, or the front lines of the battle in the Fire Giant Kingdom. The Fire Giants were being overrun. The battle on the bridge above, leading to the city of Felde, had come to a standstill, seemingly being decided by a combat between two people. One wielding a familiar white-blue shining blade, and one wielding a less familiar black-red one. It was then Oriana saw a figure trying to escape the front lines towards her, crawling along the walls with spider-like grace and skill, being chased by familiar undead monstrosities, the flesh reavers. It was this that distracted Oriana as they made their way towards her. She attempted to aid the young figure as it scrambled along the wall, just inches away from being eaten by the flesh reavers behind it. And it was as Oriana picked up the young figure, flying away to safety back up the corridor, that she looked back just in time to see the explosion of stone and the white-blue blade spinning and falling towards the lava below.
As you completely ignored the rules of high ground.
And the Drow army start to fall through the bombardment of projectiles from the automaton army on the bank opposite. You made your way back into the tunnels, discovering that you had just saved the Drow matron mother's son, a mutant form of Drow, 8 eyes, 8 limbs, but humanoid for the most part. And when his sister, Sarah Hesh, took him away, you were left with your grief, as Oriana explained to you all that she had just witnessed Benkin die.
They're all dead, Dave.
He's dead, Dave.
It is in the tunnels now, at the head of the human refugees, who are maybe still a few hundred feet behind you down the tunnel, that you find yourselves a moment after Oriana has shared this news.
I need to depress myself.
We did then move on, just for noting, we did then move on speaking to Sarah Hesh about moving the refugees faster so that the flesh reavers didn't break through the rocks and try to kill them.
Yeah. Oh no, and she went back to the rest of the refugee caravan to tell them. So you've been left alone. You've been left alone in the tunnel.
I don't know how to suddenly be depressed. Hang on.
God knows what I'm fighting with. I've spent all week pissing off Bri with rules of the high ground in games, so...
You did. I remember actually when you guys were playing Battleground, there was one particular stormtrooper you couldn't get to for ages because he was up on a walkway.
I spent a lot of Battlefront on the high ground. Could you see that, Bri? I shot him, Bri, because I've got the high ground.
Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons.
Focus, people. We should probably keep everyone moving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stop, won't stop.
What?
Move.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Ari, are you okay?
What kind of stupid question is that?
The only one I have.
Just move.
Okay.
It takes a moment for you. Sorry, carry on.
Sorry, I was just going to say Ace is going to head to the front of the
Group.
The group, yeah.
Okay. It takes you a moment as you start to move off before you realise that at least one of your party has not followed. You look back and Fives is just standing there stock still, staring at the new now wall of fallen rock that has filled the tunnel that you just came up.
Fives. What are you thinking?
It takes a moment, but Fives turns towards you. Nothing.
Are you lying?
It is difficult to feel.
Yeah, I get it.
If I was flesh, I expect I would feel grief.
You would.
He was kind
Yeah, he
to
was.
automatons even before freedom.
Yeah.
I think I shall find it strange that he is no longer, or can no longer, appear.
Yeah.
We should move. And he stalks to the head and joins Ace at the front of the group.
I walk so pretty much right beside Fives.
Is there anything else anyone wants to say?
Ace is going to quietly be sort of reciting some sort of script for the dead, like something you would say at funerals.
Okay.
Trying to keep it sort of low though, so as not to disturb Ori or anyone else.
Okay. As you make your way forward then, again into the darkness, it's not difficult for you all to hear now how close the caravan of refugees is behind you, less than maybe 100 feet back up the tunnel. You walk past, and as you leave the area, it just seems to become quieter. All of the sounds of passage, your own and the refugees behind you, just becomes muted, dulled, as if you're walking underwater. It's not more difficult, there's no more pressure on you. Everything just seems a little less clear. I want everyone to make me a perception check.
My headphones are in my dice tray.
It's a weird roll. 11.
In a weird way. Also, I don't have my character open. I'm sorry. 1 second.
Yeah, I rolled 8, but my passive is 10 anyway.
Okay.
Imagine being so unprepared for the stream.
Let me throw things at you. 15.
Oh, my passive is 12. But I rolled 11.
I did worse than that.
I thought 15 was bad.
Very, very. They're not paying attention to us ranking.
Okay. Dice.
Yeah.
You can't really tell how far, but considering the depth of the sound, there is a waterfall near. A huge rush of water. It's a familiar sound to you. It's quite a distance away, as it's very, very muted, but the tone or the note of the sound tells you how much water is passing. And it is up ahead as far as you can tell. And as you continue to walk, the sound gets slightly louder to you, but now for the first time, as the ground starts to rise, the walls are slick. As the air cools, the walls are slick with moisture, as is the ceiling above. There are now more stalactites and stalagmites in front. And it's easy going, it's not too steep or slippery, but the tunnel does start to come in until instead of about 30 to 40 feet at most parts, it comes into about 10 feet across at its thinnest and 20 at its widest. It's going to make it much more difficult for the caravan to move quickly with you.
I don't know what to do with that information.
Well, everyone can see what the tunnel is doing. Only you can hear the waterfall.
I don't know what relevance it has, but there's a waterfall up ahead. Hey, do any of these stalactites look suspicious? I'm real suspicious of stalactites.
This would be a really shitty time to throw a rope at us.
I just... Liana turns. You have heard the waterfall.
Yeah.
So that means we are very close to the crossroads.
Good.
And you will leave us soon, I think.
Yes.
I am sorry for all of your losses that you have suffered while you have been with us. But I am incredibly grateful for the help you have given us. If not for you, then almost 2/3 of the caravan that follow us now would still be lying sick in their beds or dead. And those still alive would be in even graver danger than they are. So please go with the knowledge that you have saved thousands of lives with your actions, and you have the thanks of a nation.
I too have something to say, Liana. I would be remiss if I were to leave without saying to you that truly, you are the worst fucking guide in the entire universe, and I strongly suspect that we saved these people for nothing, and that you are going to lead them into an open volcano. I hope I never see you again.
Thank you, Liana. I'm glad we were able to help.
I am if you carry on ahead, I believe you will come to a larger open area with a waterfall. I will go back and make the princess aware of how far we have come. Thank you all for your companionship on the many journeys we have attempted.
Liana, just 1 second, and I'm going to take her to the side for a moment. For a start, you weren't that bad a guide. I think things just went wrong.
In the background, I'm just loudly saying, so shall I send the imp down that corridor to check those directions, since they've never been good before?
No, Sepsis. I'm sure Liana knows what she's doing.
Liana, you did fine as a guide. It was simply circumstances that caused you to leave. I know that, and I'm sorry if Sepsis hurt your feelings.
Nein, Sepsis would have gotten along quite good with comedic players, the comics among us. We have a very dry sense of humor, and
Humor?
Yes, I believe they would have liked him if he was if they were given a chance to entertain. But I will...
Sepsis is very funny, yes.
I will go now before they say something that they will regret.
Oh, I don't think that ever happens. Can you tell Sarah Hesh to message me when she's somewhere safe using the sending stone, but not to say where she is?
I do not believe you are meant to leave before you have a chance to say goodbye.
I think if I ask anyone to wait right now, it would be unfair.
Just go. Go say goodbye.
You want to go? You can wait. I'll do it from a distance. It's okay.
Go say goodbye.
You may regret not doing it.
I know. I'll go.
You will come with me then. Good. Well, let us go. And
Nice.
Liana,
Thank you for all you've done for us.
you are welcome. Liana walks off with dice down the corridor, leaving the three of you and Fives behind.
Mm-hmm.
You're just gonna,
what she's done for us.
you're just going to carry on?
How tall is Fives?
Fives is just over 7 feet tall.
Cool. Well, no, we're going to wait for Dice, aren't we, to come back?
Yeah, I thought that would be the plan.
Okay.
I'm pissed off. I'm not that pissed off.
Sepsis.
Leave her in the corridor.
Sepsis, are you going to send the imp down the corridor?
No.
You're going to check those directions?
No, I don't suppose it would matter if Leon has given us the wrong directions. Then we're dead either way. This place is a warren.
Ari's gonna just stand with her sort of head resting on Fives' like shoulder on the front.
Dice then. Doesn't take you long. The caravan was quite close behind. It does not take you long to get back to the front, where you can see Sarah Hesh and some other council members standing at the front directing people to send messages and runners back and forth down the caravan or through the tunnels. Liana approaches Sarah Hesh, whispers something in her ear, and Sarah Hesh turns and looks at you and smiles sadly.
Hi.
Mahat, you have come to say goodbye, it seems.
Yep, it looks like it's that time.
I will miss you.
Yes, I will miss you too. Probably not your council.
None of them meet your eye as you scowl at them.
It turns out they're all wankers. But I will miss you.
I will not disagree with you. They are not very useful so far.
Here, beheading is a really good solution.
The APAM side less useful than you and your friends have been. Perhaps when we are settled, when emotions are not so high and strong, you would all perhaps take positions in the council?
I might one day be able to come back, but it's going to be a long time coming. I've got a lot to do first.
Well,
But maybe.
I am first and foremost the daughter of the matron mother of Felde. So I have to look after my people. But I am also madly in love with you. So when, unfortunately, not now, but when you no longer have a trace on you that could bring about danger and death to all of my subjects, then you have a home with me.
To be honest, I'm not even sure the trace is the problem. I think I'd like to just wipe out the elves, and that would solve that problem quite nicely.
Well, you cannot possibly think they're all so bad.
Don't.
I am an elf, after all.
You are a very different type of elf to the ones that have treated us badly. Similar ears, not much else the same.
I would not close your heart to the possibility that at least some of them.
I haven't. We've
Oh,
met
good.
good elves. One of them we just watched die. Oh, I didn't, but Brianna did and is now looking suitably traumatized. The good ones seem to be numbered dramatically by the bad ones. Anyway, this is really not the point of the goodbye. I will try and stay alive. Better. And maybe one day I can come home to you. Eventually.
Look forward to seeing what you have done with your armor when next I see you.
Come with it. Make sure you look after Antonius for me.
I will. When he comes back.
Back from where?
Unfortunately, that we do not know. He disappeared just before the news that you had found my brother came.
Oh, that's interesting. Thank you. If he comes back, if I ever find him, I'll let...
Keep an eye out for him.
Right. It's surprisingly smart for a man with quite serious insanity issues.
Not insane, just different.
He's definitely a little bit insane. I once watched him talk to his hand for 25 minutes.
Some half-orcs get into an argument behind you.
Yeah, this is half-orc speak.
Yeah, there's some half-orcs having a discussion behind you. Oh no, the female half-orc, she's gone into labour.
Noises.
And Sarahesh takes your hand, kisses it. And you can see tears begin to form in her eyes, but she doesn't quite let them fall before she puts on her most regal face again.
I lean forward and give her a really big hug in that proper enthusiastic fashion and go, it might be the last time you see me and we could both die, so don't stand on ceremony, that's daft.
Your armor, it is quite strong and hard.
I'm not hard, I'm not squishing her.
I'm quite soft.
I know. I'll see you again. And I give her a kiss on the cheek, and then I'll just walk away, waving.
Oh. Okay.
And then I'm going to yell at the half-orcs.
Meanwhile, I've coerced Fives into hugging me. I've just picked his arms up and put them around me while I'm stood there.
And he does.
You learned that trick from me.
Yes.
He does in a very...
Give me your arms, put them around me.
Mm-hmm. And he does. And eventually he starts patting you gently on the back.
He's the only person tall enough to do it.
Which is like a very... he thinks it's gently, but it's a very hard kind of...
Exactly what Ori needs, to be honest.
A very metallic noise. Good job. For a wooden table.
It's all metal on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. But then eventually, after a few minutes, Dice does return.
As I'm walking back, I would like to speak to Vizier for a second.
Okay.
Hey, Vizier.
Yes, how can I assist today?
Actually, you can't. Well, maybe, sort of. Do you know where Antonius? I really need to tell my friends about you, but it's never seemed to be quite the right time. Anyway, would Antonius be trying to make his way to the city you're from, the one on the continent? He's disappeared with months.
I do not believe so. He has been there once.
Hmm.
When last he spoke of travel, it was to anywhere else in the world that he had not yet been.
He didn't say anything to you when he was greeting you earlier. I know he didn't say anything out loud, but did he say anything to you about where he would be going? Only I like Antonius, and I don't want him to die.
Nothing that
Quite
made
enough of that.
nothing that made any sense.
We're back to the man who talks to his hand again.
I'm sorry I cannot be more help. I have a link to you, not anyone else.
All right. I just thought maybe you'd have some insight.
Not as much in the ways of fleshlings, such as yourself, but
Fleshling. That's a deeply unattractive term for humans.
humanoids?
Humanoid is better than fleshling, sure.
Fleshies.
I quite like fleshies. I'm actually weirdly okay with fleshies.
I'm
Really
less
not.
okay with fleshies.
Bios. Bios?
Bio works? Or bionoid.
Humanoid.
Or
Bionoids.
just human.
Well, because not everyone's human when they're living.
Humanoid. Yeah.
For instance, Oriana is not human.
I find humanoid slightly offensive.
Clearly
We're
I
not
said
part of
this
this
out loud
conversation.
on the way back.
Yeah, we're not a part of this conversation.
Maybe I was having a conversation with myself as I walked back into the thing, because then it fits. And going, fleshies could be a word for a humanoid. Hi, guys.
I don't like humanoid very much. That's very humanocentric.
Well, the options are so far, and I will explain the context eventually at a better time. We should start walking. But the options are fleshies, fleshlings, humanoids, bionoids, bios.
I think you humans are snake personoid.
Good point. Humanoid is very human-centric.
Ugly bags of mostly water.
So we're jigglyoids.
Shitty hornless tieflings.
Well, that's unnecessarily harsh.
Also wing and tail.
So is assuming that human is the default. You're not even the dominant species.
I didn't assume that human was the default.
So
Just the language in the books that we've read.
Whoever created the word humanoid assumed humans were the dominant species, and I'm going to assume that person's probably dead.
A little bit speciesist.
It's extremely speciesist. Oriana's purple, you wouldn't call her white personoid.
All right. So what should we call two-legged upright standing folk?
You're walking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are walking.
Okay, carry on. Sorry, carry on.
I'm walking up front with Fives, completely ignoring the conversation. I'm holding hands with Fives and walking with Fives.
Okay.
I'm not sure I'm okay with meat bags.
You could call them weird, gross Yuan-Ti with odd, warm blood for some reason.
Can't we just... things that bleed?
Chickens bleed. Are we including chickens?
Sentient things that bleed.
For an hour.
I mean, chickens are sentient.
After an hour of this argument and your continued journey, Oriana first, but then the rest of you do start to pick up on the sound of an incredible amount of rushing water somewhere ahead.
We keep walking until we find like Ukrainian water instead.
Okay. It takes another hour again.
Glad someone found that funny. It got Millie.
I wasn't listening.
It takes another hour again, but eventually any thought of conversation between you is drowned out by the sound of the water. Yeah?
Hi, DM. I never actually got the Professor Orb added to my equipment. Wanted to do something with it. So I don't actually know what he's capable of. I just talk to him like a friend.
Okay, got it.
That's it.
An orb-shaped friend.
Cool.
He's an orb-shaped friend. So I'd
That's
like
what
to know what
this-
he can do at some point.
Are we sure it's orb-shaped? He's not, like, spherical or, oblong.
Friend-shaped is what he is.
He's shaped
Friend
like a friend.
It's an orb.
If he was shaped like a friend, he'd be dog-shaped.
cats can be friends too.
It's an
Whose
old...
species is now.
Cats can be acquaintances.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'll add that into your sheet now in a moment. Give me a second. Yeah,
What,
so
you'll add cats can be acquaintances into a sheet?
Pretty much. It's going to be part of her description. But eventually, the tunnel starts to grow brighter. There is a light up ahead that seems to be shining into and filling the tunnel, maybe 100 feet ahead. And the echo and the sound of the rushing water leads you to believe that the space you're about to enter into is quite large. Carry on. Pause.
Perhaps we should go a bit carefully, just to make sure there's nothing waiting up ahead, as it's quite a large space.
Do you want me to go ahead and look?
No, I think we should just be stealthier.
Okay.
Last time you went to... No.
I side-eye Ace.
Better we stick together, even if we're louder that way. Right?
Yeah.
I kind of want my friends where I can see them right now.
Yeah, I'd prefer us to stay as a team.
Yeah.
Okay. So you carry on, make your way to the end of the tunnel, and having spent so long underground, even with all of your relevant dark visions, it does take a moment to adapt to the new source of light. It all seems to be coming from the water. Before you, there is a tower as tall as you can see before distance and the foam or the mist coming from the tower of falling water just blocks out anything else. It doesn't hit the ground in front of you. It seems to have carved a perfect hole through, from what you can tell, several layers of rock, several layers of tunnels, above and below, and carries on. The rush of water is what you hear. You do not hear the impact, but you can expect it to be far, far below you in the bowels of the earth. There is also a very distinctive taste on the air. This is not fresh water. You all kind of lick your lips, and it's a tangy saltwater taste.
Saltwater waterfall. Okay.
Does that mean that we're under the channel right now? Or maybe just at the coast?
Oh, that makes sense, because we're going towards the continent. Yes, we'd have to be under DC.
Under the sea.
Under the channel.
Under the sea.
Yes.
Darling, it's better
Hopefully
downwards,
this,
where to take it from.
My plate is sufficiently oiled.
As you shout at each other over the sound of the rushing water, it is surprised most of you when a few people just appear in your group from behind. Humans, mostly, a halfling, and Liana. And Liana does gesture for you all off to one side as the humans start to make their way to the left. She gestures you to go right.
Holy shit, she hasn't led them into a pit yet.
So we're going to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Tries to give you as clear as an instruction as possible without screaming, but still ends up shouting into your faces. There is a spiral of tunnels that leads to the top of this waterfall. You will find that you are under the sea, quite close to the continent, and we have a method of signaling with what you call them, the illegal traffickers of goods on ships.
Pirates.
Nine, the smugglers. Yeah, the smugglers.
Why did we split up?
We didn't, we just went ahead.
Why did we go ahead if we were just going to be caught up?
Because
We stopped.
You stopped.
It's fine. It doesn't matter.
And you were saying, Liana?
And I did not give you the directions to go from here on. I went back because I had a message for the princess.
That's fine. What are the directions?
Follow the spiral up. There should be someone waiting for you at the top. They will signal the smugglers, and then I hope you can swim. It is a short trip to the surface, and you will be picked up and taken to the coast.
Oh, okay. Fives, can you swim?
Fives just looks at you. Shrugs. Or approximation of a shrug. Just kind of nods.
Float?
Yes.
Don't we have a boat?
It only tends to work when you're already on the surface. You know, if you fill a bowl with water and put it underwater.
Not a bad point.
Finish your thought.
I imagine we've got to swim to the surface.
It should not be far. Perhaps
Submarine in a box.
30, 40 feet. Good luck.
40 feet.
Just
It's going to be interesting in all this. And then gestures to plate.
Liana wanders off after the humans and the halfling.
Okay.
We'll deal with that when we get to it.
Okay.
Could I maybe put some of this in the bag of holding?
Definitely not until we're ready to head for the surface, because
I'm sure we know something about weightlessness.
maybe I'm looking now to see if I have anything I could do to help.
It can make someone small.
I can hypnotize you. I don't think that's going to help.
If you made me small, I could go in someone's pocket.
Not that small.
Oh.
I can
Small
make
enough.
you half your current height.
Not sure that would help very much.
It would help me. I would be amused by it.
Ice, haven't you made Ace light enough to float before now?
Well, I used
I'll
levitate,
float
but
down here.
I don't have levitate at the moment anyway.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't expecting to have to fly.
Spells.
I may just have to. I may also have to just take my armor off and put it in my bag, unless we can. If we can get a. Oh! I have an idea. Well, I have an idea for me. I can't necessarily help Ace, but I can change my armor to its other form, and then it's skin tight and acts like a second skin, so I would be able to swim in it. But I can't help Ace.
So that's you sorted. It might be an idea to put Ace's armor in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Now, or when we get to the thing we have to swim on?
Just wait till we get there.
Just in case, right?
Yeah.
Smart. That's what we're doing.
I could give us some extra temporary hit points to help them get to the surface before they die of drowning.
That could help.
40 feet. Surely we can swim 40 feet.
I'd imagine, but
Well, I'm just thinking that it takes like quite a long time to take off and put back on all of that armor, and if we get, ambushed by a kraken or giant sharks or something from Kobold Press, Toma Foes, then we could be in quite a lot of trouble if
Think
Ace is
Ace's
naked.
armor is going to be the least of our worries at that point if we got attacked while we're underwater. Also, I'm guessing, Dice, you haven't got that breathing spell readied either.
Nope. But I do have an idea. It's a little bit of a left field way to use something. How far up have we got to swim?
40.
40 feet.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm excited already.
So I have.
Are you
60 feet
walking
of
as you
rope.
have this conversation?
Yes.
by the way?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
I always assume we're walking.
I have 60 feet of rope. If I use rope trick,
Is
it
this about to be
moves-
a math problem?
No, it moves vertically up to the point where it's at the top. So there's nothing that says it can't be used in water. So theoretically, if I use rope trick, we can then just climb up the rope to the extra dimensional space at the top and then decide where we go from there.
We'd just...
Sure.
All we'd be then is 30 feet closer to the surface inside an extra dimensional pocket.
60 feet. I've got 60 feet of rope because ages ago I tied 2 pieces together to make it 60 feet because we needed to go 60 feet in the air.
That could work.
Ace could use it to climb up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that spell specifies that it's 10 feet up.
Nope. Touch length of
No.
rope that is up to 60 feet long.
Oh,
I did that
excellent.
before I suggested it.
Fantastic. Well, yep,
It's a little bit of thinking around the problem, but...
No, it's excellent, because we can go... If we can get above the surface using the rope trick, then we can throw our boat in a box out of the extra dimensional space and then just hop down into it.
then we've got a fucking boat.
Yeah.
Please everyone pay attention to what Waffle is doing behind me, because he's lost his damn mind.
I was just watching.
And even Fives could climb the
Oh
rope. but
man,
not
I pointed that webcam at him just at the right time.
When he's
That isn't how
all
you
in.
use a bed, buddy.
But even Fives could climb the rope. So Fives wouldn't have to swim, because I'm not sure how good his swimming is.
He floats.
You notice then that you are going in a quite tight spiral. It is not a steep climb, but it is ever up. And as you go, you estimate it's got maybe a 50-foot diameter, this tower of water. The higher you go, the slicker and wetter the walls, floor, ceiling. But there doesn't seem to be any stalagmites or stalactites. Everything is worn almost completely smooth in this corridor, which is about 15 feet across. It's at certain points it does go slightly steeper, but there seem to have been rough cut steps put into the stone by people who have passed this way before. They have been worn smooth over time by either feet or the elements, but you continue comfortably all the way to the top until you get to what appears to be the final level. Stops moving in a spiral. There is a corridor that immediately takes you right into a darkened tunnel and further away from the brightly lit column of water rushing past you. Do you enter into darkness?
Yeah.
Okay. You move then.
Nowhere else to go.
You make your way further into the tunnels. There is a lot lower than you are used to. The ceiling is maybe only about 20 feet above you, or 20 feet from ground to ceiling. There are no stalagmites, stalactites. It is a large bare room, save for a couple of tables.
Bear? There's a bear in here?
Yeah, it's a bare room. There are a couple of tables, a few chairs dotted around. Everything is soaked. There are a few barrels over in one corner. And in one wall, a hole cut and covered up by what looks like a large, solid steel door with a very big metal handle on it.
What do we do with the door?
There is no one in the room, as far as you can see.
Apart from the bear.
There's no one in the bare room.
Can I see any signs that someone's moved through here regularly or recently?
Roll me an investigation check.
Investigation or survival?
Either. It's up to you.
Survival.
Got 23 on investigation.
Hang on. I'm also going to give myself guidance because I can. I should get a pretty good, so that would be 28.
28 and a 23, okay. Depends what you think of as recent, but there has been someone in this room in at least the last week. There is, as you approach some of the tables, a couple of plates of half-eaten food on there, abandoned quickly, halfway through a meal. You can tell by at least some of the ingredients used in these meals with the mold growing on them, especially with that kind of survival check dice. It's maybe 5 days since it was prepared, 5 days since it was touched.
I think we're good. No one's been in here, but do we have to go through this door? I wasn't listening when Liana was speaking. Weirdly, I was not.
Liana said someone would be here to meet us.
Uh-oh.
And it just looks like that plan's gone out the window, and the door looks like the only other way, so...
Can I just
Could be
say
the
that
other
she's
side.
maintaining her excellent record as a guide then?
Yes.
I will go and look at the door. Is the door trapped?
Roll me an investigation check.
This time I actually...
traps, Pookie!
Also going to check for
Oh, 24. It was a nat
24?
20.
Cool, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Ori should check for traps, actually. I know it wasn't Ori who said it, but I think Ori
No,
should.
it's fine. All of you being worried then approach the door. Oriana, it looks relatively solid. There is nothing, there are no breakaway sections. It doesn't look like anything's going to shoot out from it. The wall around it is solid stone, though you can see marks where it's been worked and carved to accept this almost perfectly circular hole cut out of it. But the rest of the stone seems to be completely solid. There's no evidence that you can find that there is any other mechanism other than the thing that locks this door shut and the hinge that allows it to swing open. Currently, the handle is turned to an upright position, but it's a very simple metal handle.
I open the door.
You turn it down, there is a very loud, heavy, metallic chunk and a hiss, just a short hiss of perhaps air. No foul smell, nothing else greets you. But as you try and prise the door open, it is heavy and it takes a moment, and you realize as it opens, the door is about 10 inches thick.
Chunky.
As you progress, you realize that not only is this door metal, but also its frame. And as you step through, you appear to be in a circular metal room. Quite small, built to accommodate maybe 10 people all at once. 2 people able to pass through the door, the size it is, side by side. The room is completely bare.
It seemed like an airlock.
As you look around, on the ceiling above you, dotted around the outsides of it, seem to be vents that are closed at the moment. In the center of the ceiling, a door very similar to this one. But the hinges, from what you can see, there are no hinges. It appears that this door opens outwards.
Standing this room, shut the door, water comes in, we go up.
We have to
I
hold our
have
breath
an
then.
alternative perspective. What if we open the door, get on the floor, everybody walk that dinosaur?
A dinosaur fell in the lava.
We'll let you spend one night with the orcs.
Close
Listen,
the door.
it's a catchy song. It's,
Nobody wants that.
you know, it does. The translation from orc doesn't work perfectly, but it's very catchy.
Close the door. Let's see what happens, I guess. And hope we don't drown. Good luck, everyone. Oh, wait. No, wait. Don't do that. Can you give me 10 minutes before you close the door? Yeah, 10 minutes.
Okay.
Why do you need 10 minutes?
Also, Sep says she wants some extra spell slots.
What? Yes, always. Do we want? Are we thinking about taking a short rest?
Yeah, but I'm going to do it with catnap because I need to change my armor.
Spicy.
Yeah?
Yes. Give me them sweet sorcery points.
I realize we'll be only holding our breath from the moment the door in the ceiling is opened. It'll be after the water in the room has gone up.
I can't swim. I need to change my armor. Sorry.
So, for the benefits of...
And Ace needs to strip.
Yeah, Ace needs to strip. For the benefits of then everyone watching, who doesn't have access to Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, can you please confirm what catnap does?
Yeah. So I'm going to take a pinch of sand covered in ink and sprinkle it on the floor between me and Sepsis, being the only two people who would benefit from a short rest right now. I'm going to make a calming gesture, and up to 3 willing creatures of my choice that I can see within range fall unconscious for the spell's duration. Wait, that won't work for changing my armor, will it? Because it's the benefits of a short rest, but it would only count as a short rest.
Hmm.
Yeah, you still need to take the full time to take your armor or change your armor.
Yeah. But my armor's instant, theoretically. Well, it can be changed after a short rest, so DM?
There you go, yeah.
Magical, yeah.
Fine, okay. Fall unconscious for the spell's duration. The spell ends on a target early if they take damage or someone uses an action to shake or slap it awake. If the target remains unconscious for full duration, that target gains the benefit of a short rest and can't be affected by the spell again until... So it's a short rest in 10 minutes instead of 45, but for 3 people.
Best day ever. Can you cast this another 3 or 4 times, please?
No, you only get it once, and it's done.
You can't benefit from the effects of the spell until you finish the long rest. Again, sorry.
So for 10 minutes, me and Sepsis are going to lean on each other asleep on the floor.
Cool.
Okay.
Give me 10 minutes.
I'm going to remove some armor
Okay.
and pop it in the bag of holding.
Cool. Oriana?
Chatting with Fives.
Cool. Fives is...
Just go back to hugging him more than anything.
Fives isn't very responsive, but is a very good listener to your like stream of thought.
I'm not really
Doesn't
talking that much. I'm just sort of leaning on him.
Okay.
It's an emotional support thing at the moment.
Robot thing.
The 10 minutes passes. Both Sepsis and Dice begin to come back to consciousness at around about the same moment. You have both received the benefits of a short rest, and as part of the magic that comes from resting for that long, Dice, what armor are you now wearing?
So I'm going to just run my hands across the sides of my armor, like that, and it's going to change from Guardian armor to Infiltrator.
Okay. So you can see the bulk of Dice's armor plates kind of shrink down until it's almost skin tight, but still very obviously made of adamantine. And yes, Dice cuts a much more svelte figure. No.
May I ask DM if he could please remove the plate on my equipment, because it's not letting me.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. And let you know what your armor class is.
Yeah, I think it goes down by like 2 or 3. I don't think it goes
I suspect it will go down by more than that.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Okay.
It's still beefy.
Yeah.
Beefiness does not equal AC.
No,
it's your armor class, and you removed your armor.
No.
Dex is your main AC stat. So.
Ooh, Jesus.
What is it?
It's gone from 20
to 14.
To 14.
Rough.
Yep.
Okay, so you're no longer wearing the adamantine plates.
Still higher than me. It's all right.
It is in the bag. It is in one of your bags of holding, because you have 2 now. Remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I make a mental note of which one it's in.
Okay.
I think you have one of them, don't you?
I think so.
Yeah, you've got one. I've got the other, I think.
I'll put it in the one that's attached to me then.
Can't trust Ori or Sepsis to the bag of holding.
I thought you said Oreo for a second.
I don't agree with that.
Cool.
First Oreo with a bag of holding. Who's Oreo?
As you are preparing then for what you must do, you look at the door above. There is a lever on the door. There is also a larger lever next to it.
One is going to open the vent. Right, what's that? We need to shut the one door first, once we're all in the room.
Yeah, shut the door.
Shut that door.
Can I work out by actually looking at it which lever will do what to make sure I do things in the right order?
Yeah. Roll me an investigation check.
Guidance. Because I can. I'm just going to keep using that now that I've remembered. I finally remembered I have guidance because it's useful. Investigation. That's 23.
23. Okay. Seems very simple, very self-explanatory. It's a very low DC for that roll. The handle on the door will open the door. However, you give it a slight touch just to see how difficult it will be. It does not budge at all.
The pressure logically would have to equalise in the room and above for the door to open. So the water needs to be full before the door will open. Yeah.
Absolutely. The other one, much easier to move, and even as you touch it, you do start to hear the slight trickle of water from all directions around you. And you can see like a little bit of tiny little bit of water starts to leak through and drip from the vents. There are about 10 in total all around the room.
Is everyone ready?
As ready as I'm going to be.
Yeah.
For the record, I really hate getting wet, and then I'll pull the lever.
Okay. You're all immediately almost deafened. As soon as the lever is thrown, the 10 vents around you start gushing water in a torrent, and as it hits the metal and the water resounds off the metal walls as well, it's just impossible to hear anything other than the water rush into the room. After a moment, it is up to your knees, or Sepsis' waist.
Sure.
And it starts to hurt slightly. Like you'd start to get a headache. Your ears start to feel the pressure build. You instinctively. So many songs get stuck in my head throughout every session of this game. You instinctively hold your nose and blow to equalize the pressure until eventually the water then starts to lap at around mid-chest level for most of you and starts to touch Sepsis' chin. And Sepsis is the first one who has to begin treading water. Or just drowns.
I hold Sepsis up a little bit.
It is salt water. Would not be a good idea to ingest.
Destroyed.
I will keep testing the thing to see if at any point I can open it, even if it's slightly before it's fully full.
It is not budging at all. Not becoming any easier.
The puppy wants to go out. Open the thing, road trick, whatever. Do the thing.
All right.
I just have one 40 feet we've got to swim.
Mm-hmm.
You do realise that 35 feet is the deepest a human can go, right?
In real life.
Magic.
This is magic.
Also, only 2 of us are humans.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Oh, good.
Oh wait, I read it wrong. It's fine, I read it wrong. It was
Is it 35 meters?
No, it was 35,000.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes
That
more
is
sense.
further.
Yeah.
60 feet is like a human on its own without any gear is 60 feet.
Okay. So
Slight difference.
the water starts to rise. You all find yourselves having to swim, all apart from Fives, who does not even float. The water does not even move them. They just stand there, cemented to the bottom. Everyone roll me a perception check.
Okie dokie.
21.
Okay.
Read that. What's it say? 12. Investigation, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a 12.
Okay. Oriana,
Yes.
as you begin to bob in the water, there are moments where your head almost half submerges below the water. And in those moments, with your ears below the water, there is a dull kind of thumping sound. takes you a moment, and you willingly put your head underwater and keep it there for a moment to try and work out where the sound is coming from. It's not Fives. It seems to be someone knocking the door that you have closed from the outside.
Too late now, bitch.
Okay.
Is it too
We
late
go.
now to say
That's
so?
fucking unfortunate.
So there is now, as you begin to tread water, there is about a foot of space left between the surface of the water and the ceiling above. It's then that you get slightly worried. The door itself is about half a foot above the rest of the ceiling. There is enough space, comfortably, for 2 people to fit in that half a foot with the door. The handle on the door still isn't moving because the pressure is not completely equal yet. There are 5 of you.
My investigation check didn't tell us anything about this.
Yeah. The water seems to be moving quite quickly. It shouldn't take too long for any of you.
Some of us are going to have to hold our breaths, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would I know what kind of check that would be?
Holding it, you can hold your breath for a number of minutes equal to your con modifier, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get quite a while.
I'm
Yeah,
good.
so
I've
I'd
got
be
like-
able to hold it for 5 minutes.
I've
My
got
cons-
3.
My constitution is +8, so
No, con modifier, not con save.
which one's the con modifier?
Uh,
Across the
at the
top.
top.
+2.
Yeah.
I've got 2 minutes.
I've got 5, so I'll stay. I think I can hold my breath a little longer, so I'll stay. I'll be
Plus
one of the
5
ones.
on your constitution. No wonder you never fail a con check. You can drink for England.
Okay. So who's going to try the door and who's going to hold their breath?
I'm going to hold my breath.
I'll try the door.
Trying the door with Ori's help to see if that helps it move.
Okay, cool.
Has Fives floated up yet?
Fives is just there, just kind of looking, as you look down to the water to check
Kidding.
on Fives, he's just kind of like patiently gazing at you, waiting for something to happen. It's then that you really kind of twig. There's a chance automatons don't need to breathe or sleep. Maybe.
Sure, salt's good for the joints. Yeah, I go up to open the door.
Okay.
I can fix that.
Cool. So, Ace, you're holding your breath?
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Sepsis, you're holding your breath?
Yep.
Okay. And Oriana and Dice are going to go up for the door.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay. So you wait. Takes maybe 30 seconds then until Ace and Sepsis are finally forced to hold their breath, with no chance of taking another one as the water reaches the ceiling. There is just half a foot of space, both of your faces just bobbing above the water. And as the water then finally touches the door, try the door for me.
Yeah, I want to try the door.
You try the door. There is the smallest of movements and a dull metal grinding noise that reverberates through the water you now find yourself submerged in. And then it just stops.
What's wrong with it? Is it? Can I tell? Can I work out if it needs more force or if there's actually something wrong with the mechanism and I should panic at this point?
Roll me an investigation check.
I'm just going to wave at Fives and like gesture for him to come up.
Mm-hmm. Fives does start to move slowly but surely and does begin to move forward slightly further than he's moving backwards every time he's not propelling himself. He's sinking a lot quicker than the rest of you would.
A hatch opens on his butt and a little propeller comes out.
Go gadget underwater propeller.
19.
19? Okay. This door is a lot worse maintained than the one you came in through. This hinge has not been oiled in a long time.
Oh, can. Oil can.
No problem at all. I'm going to hit it with mending.
You hit it with mending.
Both hinges. I'm going to hit them with mending.
Okay. No, the hinges are fine. It's the handle that is rusted.
And I'm hitting the handle.
Okay.
Pretty sure he said hinge.
He did say hinge.
Yeah, I sorry.
No, it's fine.
There's a lot to keep track of.
You could have just agreed with hinge, and you wouldn't have exposed your cock up.
I hope he's not exposing his cock anything.
I believe that's against the terms of service.
It definitely would be, yeah.
Okay.
Also, it made him go silent. That's very unnerving.
We're on AD's channel. If we could not get AD banned from Twitch.
Yeah.
All right, so no
I don't think
revealing.
Adi would appreciate
Okay.
that.
No
okay.
nipples of any kind.
So you cast mending on the handle and its mechanism.
Then I try the door again.
Nothing appears to have changed.
Okay, but you said that was the problem.
I said it was rusted and hadn't seen oil in a while. Mending repairs a break or a tear in an object that you touch.
Hey, who's real strong?
Would prestidigitation remove the rust?
Would you clean it up?
I'm going to notice that it's not.
If you clean the rest off.
Yeah.
So I'll
gonna
cast
say-
prestidigitation on it and see if that works.
Do you mean prestidigitation?
Whatever.
Stab you.
Another 30 seconds passes then as Oriana attempts to use prestidigitation to clean the rust off. The outside of the mechanism of the door looks brand spanking shiny and new. Handle still ain't moving.
I go like this.
Okay. Yeah, Ace is going to notice the increasing panic and attempt to open the hinge.
Okay.
I'll drop down into the water and start holding my breath.
Okay.
What if the door isn't openable and this is how Bry's planning on this campaign ending?
That was the end.
Total party kill
Become
via a door.
cave corpses.
Ace, I would like you to make me a strength check, please.
Ooh, that was a net 20.
Oh.
That was
It
and on a
opens.
blink
There
dog,
isn't a
guys.
door now.
There is no longer a door.
Not only does Ace pull the handle, but pulls the handle off.
Well, I believe you, Ace. I believe you.
I know, but it's a blink dog.
It's a blink dog. Okay.
Yeah.
Blink dog dice, rolling natural 20s.
That's all they roll. That's the only thing. That's why you should buy them. They all roll natural 20s. There's a 20 on every face.
I love that dice. That is my TPK dice. If I get a dice with a 20 on every face, that's the
No.
dice.
It
If
wouldn't
this
work.
is your
I'm wearing a
TPK
man
door,
now.
as far as we know. So
Sorry.
let's
Hey,
find
Greg,
out what
The
happens.
door.
is Greg playing Hades? Nat 20.
I'm not currently.
So, as you swim up, then Ace,
Yeah.
you gently kind of brush Oriana out of the way, grab the handle with both hands, and swing up until you're almost then horizontal, with your legs pressed against the side of the hatch. In one strong pull, using all of the muscles in your arms and legs, you wrench the handle to one side. There is still a rush then, as you are almost swept out of the door before your legs, and you brace your back against the other side of the hatch itself and stop yourself being sucked out into the sea.
Yeah, I would have done a real big breath hold before that happened.
But
Just an FYI.
that's fine, because you're still holding your breath. As the murk around you then clears, you do find yourself surrounded by seaweed, which grows a few feet above you. And above is a white light that seems to shimmer on a surface that is far away. Does not look like the light sky, however, it does look like the surface of an ocean, but it is dark. And if Oriana had noticed as well, their watch is going to show early evening.
As we start making our way out, I am going to use rope trick to give us a handhold to pull ourselves up. It is up to you whether it works.
Oh no, that's fine.
Only because it does say at the end of the rope rises into the air.
It will, because it's 60 feet long.
It'll be in the air. It'll be about 20 feet in the air.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
As you touch the rope shoots out straight up from your hand. You see it break the surface of the water, and as you tug on it, it does not return. It is firm there in the water. It is not being moved or swayed by the current as you are.
Yes.
And you begin to climb the rope.
I start to climb the rope.
With that, climbing a rope underwater, not very difficult. No need for a climb check. All of your constitution scores will allow you to hold your breath until you break the surface. And you do see as you break the surface that the rope is about 20 feet above it. Supposed to be a nice little skill encounter, but rope trick, fuck it.
Oh, come on, you like it when your players do something.
Yeah, no, it is. It's actually,
You like it when we've got like good intuition and
Yeah, and let's just say it's
we
our
didn't hear you.
let's just say it's our little revenge for you killing Benkin in a cutscene.
Sorry, my mic refuses to unmute them.
Unmint.
Box in the boat.
Okay.
Boat in a box.
Are you going to
It's
get
my boat in a
into...
box.
Yeah, as I get out of the water, I'm then going to trigger the boat in a box.
I
So
believe.
Okay.
before I actually go into the extra dimensional space, I'm just going to get a little bit out of the water, trigger the boat, and then hopefully drop into the boat. But I need to double check what the sizing of the boat in the box is.
If I remember from the item description, step 1 is you cut a hole in the box. Step 2 is you put a boat in the box. Step 3 is Dice opens the box, and that's the way we do it.
Which word of command are you using?
I need to find. I can't
Make it
find the boat in the box.
Is Fives getting out of the water okay? Or up
Yeah,
to-
he's climbing up the rope. He's got no issue. It's folding boat.
No, I know that, but it's not in my equipment list, is it?
I know, but it's not boat in a box. It's called folding boat.
It's my
If
boat
you're
in a
searching
box.
for it on the...
Isn't it like yacht size?
There's a yacht size or there's a rowing boat size.
Probably
There's
going to need yacht size.
Yeah, there's 10 feet long and 4 feet wide. Or there's 24 feet long and 8 feet wide.
24 feet long and 8 feet wide.
Okay, so this is a long ship.
Yeah, this
It
is
has a deck, rowing
As are my
seats, 5 sets of oars, a steering oar, an anchor, a deck cabin, and a mast with a square sail.
Yeah, I'm going to trigger a big ass boat.
Cool. Okay, so as you all begin to climb out of the water then after Dice, you are somewhat surprised to see a boat begin to materialize out of thin air. It is a substantial vessel, a long boat. It is in fact something akin to, you've seen images of boats like this before, Ace, in the books read to you by your father. It appears to be a Norse longship, but with a cabin of strange design.
Just as an aside, the picture is really pretty and it's white and has little blue waves down the side. I want that boat.
That is the rowboat.
No, I know that, but I want that pattern.
Oh, you'd like the longship to have pretty blue waves down the side?
Yeah.
It has pretty blue waves down the side.
That's my fucking boat.
Like north knots and things.
As you then get into your boat, everyone roll me a perception check.
Yeah. Okay. Guys, I made a boat.
21.
21.
I
Mine is
rolled a
not.
9. I noticed the boat, but that's about it.
18.
Hang on, I've got something wrong.
Okay.
So guidance, because it works for checks, doesn't it, or is it just saves? No, it's checks as well. Isn't
Checks, yeah.
it? Yeah, cool. Guidance. Perception is all right. 21.
21.
I like guidance.
Okay, so Ace, Oriana, and Dice. Sepsis is basically staring at the deck of the boat, happy that they are no longer wet. The rest of you, as you look around into the misty evening around you, there is land far off in the distance. However, between that land quite a few lights bobbing up and down on the water off in the distance.
Is that fucking elves again?
And a few moments pass, and 2 ships, roughly the same size as yours, break out of the mist ahead and start to approach your boat.
I put my helmet on. I'm just going to push a button and have my helmet come up over my face.
Going to be very swiftly putting my armor back on, and having requested that
helmet on, start
someone make
dressing
me
ace.
dry with prestidigitation, please.
Yeah, I do that. I do that for everyone straight away.
Yeah.
Ari's now got beach waves hair though for the salt water.
Okay. It is at that moment that we are going to take a break because it's coming up to 9 o'clock. It is currently 2 minutes to 9. So we're going to take a break. Going to be about 15 minutes. We'll be back at about 9:15. Please, while you're waiting, please stick around. However, if you can, pop over to lokibattlemats.com or check them out as in Loki Battlemats, Loke, on, as you can see there, spelt in the chat. Check them out for more information on their amazing products on most social media platforms, apart from Twitter, in which it's Battlemats UK, not Loki Battlemats. And also, please check out Blink Dog Dice. There will be, not now, but probably slightly closer to Christmas, I'm going to do a Christmas giveaway. I have another 3 sets of Blink Dog Dice to give away. I'm going to do it all in one show, so it's going to be 3 winners this time instead of just the 1. But yeah, so check out Blink Dog Dice. There's a couple of beautiful examples, and they will be up for grabs in a couple of weeks' time. But yeah, so check out our sponsors. Apart from that, thank you very much for sticking around so far. Join us in 15 minutes for part 2. See you in a bit.
See you in a bit. Thanks. Bye.
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 Let me know. Hi, welcome back. Welcome to part 2 of episode 50 of the Chronicles of Nidum. Yes, so I hope you all spent the time productively during break, checking out Lucky Battlemats and Blink Dog Dice. If not, what were you doing? Because you weren't responding to my messages in the chat. No, I'm kidding.
Stu did.
Well, apart from Stu. Stu always responds. We love you, Stu. But yes, welcome everyone back to part 2. Where we left off then, you'd all just finally, after many months of travel and rest, finally escaped the Underdark back to the surface world after climbing a rope underwater, unfolding your wonderful folding boat into a long ship. You now find yourself bobbing along comfortably on the surface of the water, being approached by 2 ships.
Ari?
Before the ships reach you, give me a second. Oriana, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Right, Sass.
Oh, okay. 10.
10? Okay. As you prepare yourself to greet whatever may come from these 2 boats approaching, your vision swims. You feel dizzy for a moment. And when your vision solidifies, you feel lighter, like you do when you're flying. The entire world around you has a soft glow. The shimmer of the boat. The boat's approaching. Their outlines shift in your vision. The darkness is now a light blue. The sky above, a swirling mess of silver cloud.
What am I tripping on?
The water below, a solid black, looks almost like ground. The waves have stopped, like black ice beneath the boat. And off in the distance, you can see other boats. or at least the memory of them, as they pass, white skeletal figures manning their decks, using the sails, rowing oars. You hear whispers of voices coming from them, singing sea shanties in languages long forgotten. But you do hear one voice close by. Oriana. It's a familiar voice. A voice you thought never to hear again after the events that transpired just hours ago beneath the surface of the world. And suddenly your vision snaps back. Everything is normal again. The boats inch closer towards you. More lamps, more lanterns are lit on the front of these boats. And they shine down on you. You cannot see figures behind them. It is all just darkness and the lights in front.
Sorry, treat me the same as vibes, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Bonjour, bienvenue, welcome, good Nacht.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, welcome. You are...
Oh, you're asking us who we are?
Oui, yes.
Travelers?
That is evident from the sight of you all. Where have you traveled from? You have a fine boat. Are you from across the water? Have you made your way around the continent?
Just from across the channel.
Across the channel. And you have sailed all the way here?
Yes.
Yes.
Very convincing.
Roll a deception check for me, please.
Yes.
Yes. Deception?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not the truth, is it?
I cast guidance on Ori.
I don't need it.
It doesn't matter, I do it anyway. I'm just giving guidance to people now. You have +4 to whatever you roll.
26.
Is that including the +4?
Yeah.
Right? Cool. Okay.
There is never any harm in a +4.
Wow. Well, welcome. You are quite far away from the nearest port.
We got a little lost. I'm not very good at reading my compass.
Oui. This might sound like a strange question, but you have not bumped into any people in the water around here recently?
I'm not really one for swimming.
Of course. No, it is. Well, there was some signal that someone was in trouble out here, and we came to see them. However,
What race is the person I'm talking to?
you have no idea. You can't see it. Well, roll me a perception check. Because right now all you can see is shadows and
13.
the lights that are shining at you. 13?
Mm-hmm.
You can't penetrate the darkness around the lights. The lights are almost blinding you. It's impossible to see what's behind them. Can't hear you, Greg, if you are speaking.
I was just singing Blinded by the Light to myself. You're
Okay.
better off not being able to hear.
Okay, sorry.
No, we haven't seen anyone.
Very well. Then perhaps we can show you to port.
That'd be wonderful, thank you.
There is the question of payment.
Okay.
You have silver.
Yes. Yes, we can pay.
Then it is, how many of you are there?
There is 3, 4, 5 of us.
Then I believe that will be a gold piece, please.
I flip it straight over.
Okay, it's instead of a flip, it is more of a throw.
Yeah.
You know, so you launch it over. There is the ping of impact. Merci. I have I cut it. You have a good arm on you, madame, and some very fine horns, may I say. It is
Horns.
I wish I could pay you a compliment, but I can't see you.
My apologies. Excusez-moi. Turn down the lights. We are blinding our new friends. And some of the lights are turned away. Some of them lifted up, so they stare out into the darkness past your boat. And again, it takes a moment for your eyes to adjust in the gloom, but you do see quite a large mismatch of races manning both of the boats. Both of them are very fine vessels, one much smaller than the other. At the front of one of the boats, from the direction the voice was coming, is a slender half-orc gentleman. At the front of the other boat is what looks like a very buxom, scantily dressed tiefling, but one of the pink skins that you've met before, short horns. These horns seem to be pierced, and from them dangle all manner of earrings and jewelry. And as she turns her head to smile at you all, you can hear faintly over the water the jingling of the jewelry as it knocks into each other.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to say this so quietly they can't tell that it's me talking.
Okay.
Ask them what kind of signal they received.
Out of curiosity, what was the signal you received?
There was a burst of light, like some magics, like a cantrip, if you will, that appeared over the water. We thought someone was in distress, so we came to see if we could provide aid for them.
By any chance, are you smugglers?
No.
Oh my God, Ari! You can't just ask people.
That is not an honorable profession. We are fishers and a water taxi. We are transporters, good carriers. That is an affront to the fine, upstanding nature of our business.
Any profession where you make money is a good profession.
I suppose, but no, there are no illegal activities aboard any of these vessels.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. I was just checking to make sure we're safe.
Oui, you are as safe with us as you would be without us in these waters, certainly.
Maybe suggest to them that we don't need to go to a port specifically, but that a sheltered cove would be fine as well.
This port you're showing us to, is it a big port or just a small, discreet?
It is the largest port on the northern edge of the continent. It is the port of Calas. It is in the heart of, it is at the heart of the northern borders of the Shalem, or the seat of the Elven Empire.
Is there someone close by to there that's not as busy?
On the northern coast? No.
Not a cove or...
Unfortunately, any cove that is not covered by the Great Northern Wall is unfortunately manned and protected by regiments of the Elven Army. Because obviously smuggling is is a terrible profession.
Can I roll an insight check just to see if I believe this guy's not?
I will, but I already don't believe them, so...
Absolutely. Roll an insight check.
I don't believe them. AD's just reminded me, by the way, that guidance is actually plus a d4, not plus 4.
Okay.
So I will get it right from now on. I apologise.
17 on insight.
Hang on, I can't do maths. 14 on insight.
Okay. Give me a second. And just moved all my dice. Give me a moment.
What happens when you get into your own or onto your desk where they cover everything in pot noodle?
He's to the people who did the inside check. He is lying through his back teeth.
Yeah.
Tripping over his words. Absolutely lying through his back teeth.
That's good.
Are you absolutely? I'm gonna hold up just like 5 gold coins. Like, are you absolutely? Like, I'm just sort of casually gesturing with them. Are you sure there's nowhere quieter you could take us to get on land? Just like throwing them out.
If there is nowhere quieter than Calas to get you onto the land. However, if you have the coin and you would prefer a quieter entrance to Shalem, I am sure we can direct you to the correct berth and the correct harbor master to speak to. I take it discretion is preferable.
Yes.
Oui.
I
Then
tend to draw enough attention as it is.
I can imagine most assuredly you have certainly drawn the attention of my esteemed partner over here. And you look at the female tiefling and she is just blatantly staring at Oriana with open lust in her eyes. There's no hiding it. She's just smiling at you. In much the same way as you've seen Oriana smile at people she's flirting with. It's a very familiar look. I am Captain Anson.
Sorry.
Wow, that is
Knew it. I
not
fucking
funny.
No. That was very much out of character because I'm an automaton right now, so I'm not talking at all.
Okay.
Out of character. I just think it's funny.
He's quite an attractive guy. Like, he's a very attractive guy. But I am Captain Anson. And
yeah.
And some, as in you are a very handsome person. This is my esteemed colleague, Captain Malicious. She's yes, it is a pleasure to meet you. Our boats are much faster than yours. If discretion is preferable, we are known in the port of Calas. Perhaps.
Would it be best to join us on your ship?
Oui, that is what I was about to suggest.
Well, that sounds like a good idea, and ours can be packed up, so.
Then please come alongside, pick a boat.
Can I see now if there's any humans with them?
There are a couple.
And they're not chained or shackled?
Humans, gnomes. There seems to be an automaton you can see carrying 2 large barrels on its shoulders on the boat of Captain Malicious. And
I wonder if it's free. Pick a boat, Ori. Which one do you fancy more? Handsome or malicious?
Handsome. Okay.
Can I very quickly work out how to steer the boat over there, please? I don't know how to sail.
They're about 20 feet. They're about 20 feet away.
This is going to be. So we're going to be there with oars going.
Could you pull up alongside us?
Oui, again. And the boat does kind of move softly. You can hear the gentle pull of a few oars sticking out of both sides of the large boat. And it does pull much closer to you, and you can see there is a kind of rope ladder that's been tacked to the side of the ship.
Everyone go first. I'll
right
go
next to you.
pack up the boat. Go.
Yeah, I go first. Take Fives with me.
Okay. You step onto the boat. Captain Handsome, who stands maybe an inch or so taller than you, Oriana, holds out his hand. Welcome aboard the Eagle. This is my first mate. This is my first mate. He's the bear. And you look up and there is a hulking bugbear standing next to him. However, the bugbear is in half plate. Very finely made half plate armor.
What's he called?
I sidle close to the bugbear.
The bear. We call him the bear.
I sidle closer and inspect the armor subtly.
After. Oh wait, Prim.
No, the rest of you get on.
As I get off the boat, I'll turn around and give the command and pack it back into its box, and then just put the box back in the bag and climb up onto the deck. The boat's sorted.
Oh, that is how did you do that? Is it very handy? Can that be done to any boat? Or
with enough tools?
I honestly don't know. We found it.
We did.
It is
I still look like a complete automaton.
available for purchase?
I think it might come in useful.
Well, oui.
Besides, why would you want to replace the Eagle?
Let's not be too hasty. What are you offering for it?
No, Zamsis, I don't want to give up my boat.
Well, we would have to see how lucrative our most recent business deal is. And then perhaps if you are in port for a little while, we can have a conversation. Or do any of you like to gamble?
You should also know it is technically 2 boats in a box, if we're being honest.
You are a strange one. I have never heard an automaton with a local accent before. Was that part of your design, or?
We purposefully programmed her wrong as a joke.
I think it's safe, Dice.
My accent's still better than yours, and I'll take the helmet off. And then smile and wave.
Hi. Bonjour. Welcome
Bonjour.
to...
Ça va?
A question.
Oui.
Which port did you leave, Albion?
We were so close to maintaining cover.
Just have more fun this way,
When
sir.
have we
One
ever?
time. Just one time.
Londinium, technically. Dover. At the bottom. Down from Londinium to Dover.
Do you know this?
I know that there was... I've got a map, so... I would know that the port out of... We've been told several times the port would be Dover.
Okay.
Although I don't know what you called it, technically, but we were told it was Dover we would need to sail from.
Okay. Roll me a deception check.
Why can't I have Sepsis help me guidance? I need guidance on this.
Help me with this. I've just turned to stare at you going, oh, all right, let's see you get out of this one.
Okay, deception, yeah?
What an interesting decision that's been made.
Thank you. I'm also going to use Flash of Genius to make it 19.
Okay.
I have a lot of stuff that can make mine bigger. That sounded very wrong. I'm sorry.
You rolled a natural 19.
That matches it. Does he believe me or not?
I think perhaps you entered the water a lot closer than Dover.
Where do you think?
I think perhaps we should stop asking questions if we want to get paid.
Yeah, you ask a lot of questions for a smuggler.
Guys, I want to know where he thinks we came from.
I would say now, before we go any further, you can put your coin away. Your passage is already paid. This should have been explained to you. I am sorry if it was not.
Yeah, the person was missing. I think I know who you're referring.
It was explained to us, which is why I asked if you were smugglers.
We
were being cautious, but then we decided to stop as a group.
And minus sepsis perhaps.
Your passage has already been paid into Calas. It is all taken care of. However, once you are there, then unfortunately, it is all down to you. But any questions you have about your embarkation onto the continent, you can ask as we travel. However, I believe Captain Malicious may have some questions for you about Felde. We lost touch with him very recently, and we would have news if you would need it.
What was the last you heard?
Well, perhaps a month ago. There was a sickness. But please, let us get under cover first. Albert, show them to my cabin. They are friends, oui. Bear kind of just grunts at you.
Hi, Bear.
And just holds out his arm, gestures towards or down onto the deck. And you can see lights lit in the rear captain's cabin.
Okay.
Malicious, join us. They are friends.
Hey, as we're just walking off, your automaton friend, I have a quick question about them.
Oh, you mean the automaton belonging to Malicious, yes?
Yeah.
Yes, oui, yes.
Are they under Malicious's control?
No. So they follow her orders. She has no, I believe, magical control over them. They do not speak. She found them adrift.
I have some experience fixing automatons. As part of a thank you for the passage and for helping, would I be able to take a look and see if I can help?
Oui, of course.
I have a fondness for automatons. I would like to help them all.
If you wish. Oh, Malicious, bring Janas with you.
Thank you.
And the boat starts to move as Captain Hanson follows you down onto the deck. You hear a creaking of rope, followed by two loud thuds behind you. And you look back, and having just landed after swinging over from the ship nearby, Malicious and Janus, the automaton, kind of stand up straight behind you. Malicious smiles, Janus, the faceless. But you can see that in the metal faceplate of the automaton, there has been carved the approximation of a face with eyes, and it's just been kind of etched into the metal, and it's smiling, and there's a kind of very haphazardly drawn or carved scar over one eye. And a kind of, it's all been blacked out on one of them and coloured in, so it's like an eye patch over the other eye.
The cutest thing ever.
And he shows you into the cabin. It's a quite well appointed, lavishly decorated cabin. There are a few tables, a few chairs, a desk. There are two very comfortable soft chairs, both facing what looks like an antique chessboard over in one corner. There's some books strewn about, some weapons, different pieces of armor, none of which look like they fit either Handsome or the bear. They look like they may have been looted, found. borrowed, with no intention of ever giving back. But Handsome kind of sits behind his desk and gestures to the other chairs. And before long, a small gnome, happily kind of whistling to himself, runs in with a tray of drinks, smiles at you all, and just puts drinks down in front of you. And then hastens off to the corner, holding his tray, just smiling at everyone.
How long will the journey take to Calais?
To Calais, an hour, maybe more. Slightly, depends on the weather, but it is quite a clear night tonight. Nice clear sky. The stars guide us. Pardon?
It's a shame. I was hoping to learn how to sail. If we ever need to use our boat, we're in trouble.
How long would you like to be with us? There are some idiots out there who have been here for years. They still do not know how to sail.
I suspect I could pick up the basics, at least. Enough to get us going forwards, not backwards.
I would not trust any of them as eagle without me. And he lovingly strokes like the nearest piece of the ship that he can.
Unfortunately, it was the hatch where the privy empties out. He's got shit on his hands now.
No one wants that.
She's important to you, I take it.
The eagle. She is the most beautiful vessel I have ever seen or set foot upon. She has saved my life countless times. She has saved lives of many people in a similar situation to yourselves. I could not live without her.
What's her name?
The eagle.
Eagle.
Sorry, I missed that.
Ah.
It's a good name for a boat.
But is she fast?
Pardon?
Is she fast?
Is she fast? She is the fastest ship on the water. Have you ever seen the Elven battle fleet?
No.
I've never been on a ship before.
When you get to Calais, you will see some of the Elven battle fleet, and I want you to pay particular attention to their big battle cruisers, not those piddly little ones I will point out to you, the big ones. They have outrun them many an occasion.
Sounds like a worthy ship.
Oui. My home. So, you are about to embark on your first, I believe, from the looks of you, though you sound like a local. What do you know of the continent?
Nothing.
Not yet much.
Oh, that's not entirely true. Dice knows the language.
Some of it. And at some point, we would like to head towards Grisha and a couple of other places we would like to go, I think.
Grisha?
Something to do with vampires.
You do not know. There are no vampires in Grisha.
Wasn't it Grisha we needed to go to?
Not for the vampires, no.
No, was that the...
You do not want to go to Grisha.
We do.
Why?
This lawless, decadent.
That sounds right up our alley.
No.
Not to mention it's the heart of my religion.
Would you say that it's a wretched hive of scum and villainy?
I would say it is a wretched hive of scum and depravity, but villainy, sure, certainly, yes.
This sounds
Depravity.
What's their immigration policy?
We've had a rough few months, I'm afraid. We're
some rules about trading with aggressions. If you see a woman with hair that moves like snakes, do not look her in the eye.
I have no intention of doing so.
If you see what looks like a gargantuan statue made of bronze start to move towards you, run as fast as you can away.
Good advice, all good advice.
If someone approaches you and says, I am Zeus, would you like a baby?
Run.
Say no, or you will find yourself pregnant.
Your religion's weird, Ori.
Isn't that right, malicious? And she kind of looks over. There is Monty for things like this. So anyway, where are you all from? This is malicious talking now. You look entirely too sun-kissed for denizens of the Underdark, shall we say? You have been outside on the surface world much, yes?
Certainly some, yes. We've been travelling somewhat east, somewhat south, travelling around.
Somewhat east, somewhat south.
Cymru. We grew up in Cymru.
That's where I was going next, yes.
I figured they'd figure that bit out.
Wait. A pure-blood tiefling?
No, we're not those ones. Definitely
not those ones. We're not. Nope.
A red-haired, pale-skinned.
I'm an automaton, and I put the helmet back on.
A armored person of indeterminate physique under the armor.
I would like to suggest that if you're having a sudden attack of memory, that you
would do well
not do so. Or it's possible that a large hole may appear in your chest suddenly. I've heard that is a side effect of remembering things.
Some things, not all.
Well,
remembering breakfast
depends on the context of the remembering, really. So
I was going to say...
That's just safe, because we normally travel with a sack of cloth.
I was going to say there is no sack of cloth with you, so it cannot be you, because there is quite a very handsome, scaled little person with you instead.
As a question,
you calling little motherfucker?
These people that we're not, how did you hear of them? And in what context? And is there by any chance anything that those people were not?
There was perhaps a bounty placed on those people months ago.
Old news, yes.
So if you check a bounty board, you will have to rifle through quite a few pictures to find pictures of those people. Bounty boards are just places to dump paper. No one really pays them any mind.
Except for bounty hunters.
Most of the bounty hunters do not live in the Empire. It is very rare that they come back here.
Certainly not in the heart of the Empire, I would think.
No. However, I might speak with you, Purple One, for a moment in private, after your questions have been asked, of course, as a group.
Actually, I would like to go onto the deck, and I would like to borrow. Is it Janos?
Oui? What do you wish from Janos?
Actually, I just want to see if there's any repairs I can make. I am very skilled with automaton repairs. This is my friend Fives. Fives, say hi.
Fives raises his hand. Hi. Janos raises his hand back. Doesn't make a sound.
I just wanted to see if there was anything I could do to help. I will not harm him. You have my word.
I suppose you could take him if you wish.
Well, I suppose it's up to him, really, if he wishes to come.
Janos nods at him. Take care, Jane. Do not let her. Are you going now? Sorry, hang on. Are you going now?
If that's all right, I would also like to have a look at your ship. Again, I promise not to touch anything. Ships are not my strong suit, but I'd like to get a bit of an understanding about how they work while we sail across. I'm very interested in mechanical things.
They float.
Yeah, but they do so much more than that. I want to see how they work. This might be my only chance.
I believe, and this is Handsome talking to you now, I believe there are certain aspects of the ship we could show you that would whet your appetite for the mechanical.
That would be great. I would like that very much.
Bear, once she is done with Janos, take care. below decks and show l'engine.
Okay, I'm intrigued. I'm going to take Dennis's hand and say thank you and disappear.
Leaving the three of you with Handsome and Malicious. So, is there anything you would have of us before we start asking you questions?
I would have you not ask questions.
You're probably better asking me alone.
Well, we all require answers. We had friends, some of us even family in Felde. Do you know if they are safe?
It depends on who.
Humans, tieflings.
Anyone not drow or orc should be safe.
There were some others that went to the front lines. Just, I know I'm not there, but it's mine.
There were some that chose to go fight on the front lines and others who went with the refugees.
The orcs. Did they live with the refugees or go to the drow? This is Handsome speaking.
They went to the drow.
All?
Most.
The grandmother, the matriarch of the clan.
I don't know. Did she?
She was one of the council members. She came with the caravan.
No, she went with the caravan, with the refugees.
They have evacuated.
Yes.
She is my aunt, well, great aunt, I suppose.
She's a wonderful woman.
She is a ball breaker and a angry bitch most of the time, but
Fantastic, I love her.
as do I. She is safe, oui?
Yes, and there was another orc that was quite heavily pregnant who had to be persuaded not to go to the front lines. She's safe.
Possibly a cousin of mine.
Probably.
As most of them are.
So you're related to Malcor?
Oui?
He's a friend of mine. You're not in the room, fuck off.
No, I'm not. I'm actually coughing.
You are friends with my cousin.
Yeah, we stayed with him for some time in Portau.
Ah,
It was Portau.
so it is you.
Yes.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
Doesn't usually stay that way.
You have had a rough time of things, all of you then.
I'm sure you know there's a trace on us.
Ah, oui, but as with most of these magical traces, the more other spirits, energies around you there are, the harder you are to tell apart.
They still found us in Felde.
Then it is a good thing you are going somewhere they are probably not looking for you.
Not yet.
Last we heard, all hunters were sent to Albion.
Do you know anywhere we could get the trace removed?
Unfortunately, I am not au fait in magic or the arcane arts. I cannot help. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
I might be able to. Malicious kind of smiles at you.
Yeah?
The tieflings are born of the arcane. It is only right that most of us should know a little about it. Perhaps we can discuss it later over drinks.
maybe. But I get the feeling I might know more than you.
Possibly. However, I might definitely know someone you need to speak to. But again, in private, please. Please, is there anything else you wish to know about Kalas?
Not off the top of my head right now.
Very well. Do you have papers to pass through the port city?
We still have our papers from that time in Port Howe and...
They will no longer...
No, I didn't think so.
They will probably be flagged as counterfeit.
I thought so. Do you have anything here we could use?
I have paper and pen if any of you are good at forgery.
Dice.
Then we shall see. Dice, while you're outside then, roll me a tinkering check.
That's with my double... What's it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a dex, isn't it, with double proficiency?
Mm-hmm.
And as it's a check, I'll guidance
That's
on that.
Tinker's is intelligence with double proficiency.
It's intelligence, not dex. Fine. So 15, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29.
29.
Yeah.
The very reason Janus can't speak is because he doesn't have a voice box. It's been broken and removed. You can see that it wasn't removed carefully. It has been ripped out by some kind of impact or claw, but there is, it's definitely missing.
And amongst all of my various supplies and things, do I have anything I could use to fabricate a simple version? Might be kind of squeaky.
There is enough. There's enough little metal cogs and springs that you kind of gathered from Antonius's lamp. You can throw something together with that kind of tinkering roll. It takes you the best part of maybe 20 minutes, but at the end of it, there is a workable tinkering check. There's a workable voice box on Janus's throat. And as the armor closes back up around it, you hear it. Thanks.
Hi. You're welcome.
This is not what I sound like.
I know. It's the best I can do in the very short amount of time we have available. If I had more time, I could fabricate something better. But at least you can say what's on your mind now instead of being silent.
I have a great deal to say to our captain. She will now know exactly what I think of her decisions.
Oh dear. I'm not sure she's
Excuse me. And he stalks off into the ship.
It's going to lead to some interesting outcomes.
Bear kind of growls at you. And then gestures to a door leading down into the ship.
Okay, but you have to promise not to kill me, okay?
No.
Okay. It's been a long month. I don't really trust anyone anymore. But
He shrugs, gives a non-committal gesture.
comforting. Okay, let's go, Bear. Let's go.
Okay, back in the room. If there is nothing else you wish to know about Kalas, I will leave you to find your friend to forge documents. I have an example that they can work from. See if they can create finer work than this one. Please, I will have my servant here, Arthur. He will show you to your rooms. And the gnome kind of walks forward, big grin on his face.
Charlie, I think you're muted.
It was. I can't remember the girl's name, the tiefling's name, but you wanted to talk alone?
Malicious.
Malicious.
Yes, I did. And Som, if I can have your cabin for a moment. And he kind of sighs heavily. A moment. Not like last time. Please, I will help show the rest of you to your rooms. And he walks out, gesturing Ace and Sepsis to go ahead of him. Are you leaving with him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah, I go as I am directed.
Happy to leave Oriana there, yeah? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Why did you say it in that loaded way?
I didn't. You've left. So, the door closes behind them. You are left alone in the room with Malicious. Malicious, the smile disappears from her face. All sense of bragging, boasting, her entire nature changes. She kind of just deflates. And she just looks tired and a bit sad. I thought Felde would have lasted longer than it did. But, alas, enemies of the Empire are relocated every day. I should not have thought it different for my sisters. But they would not have gone into battle, so I hope at least they are safe.
When we left them, they were safe. They were making their way a different direction to us. It was safer for them for us to leave them.
They will go back to the grand city of the Drow, probably, and the goal. Perhaps even Germania, but we shall see. Perhaps even some of them will travel to Shalem, the capital, and go back and speak to the leader. It is about him I would talk with you.
Mm-hmm.
You are very beautiful.
So I'm told constantly.
I meant not in your physical, though you are pleasing to look at. It is, I'm not sure if you know, your upbringing. Beautiful is the common translation of the infernal word for close to demon, close to the devil.
Speak infernal.
Ah, oui. So you know the true world, and they say beautiful and infernal, but to you it does mean pure.
Mm. Ah.
There is only one other I have seen, like you. He is a protector of sorts, hides in the shadows, guiding a lot of our actions. Currently, his kingdom is in the catacombs and sewers of Shalem, at the heart of the Empire, like a spider in the middle of his web.
Makes sense why every elf that's spoken about tieflings said they haven't seen one in for so long.
Mm.
He's been hiding the entire time.
He is most trusted anyway. Gave a message that if ever we saw someone as beautiful as he was, if ever we saw a tiefling as beautiful as he was, we should direct them to him. He believed there was only one out there, but he did not know much about him or her.
So where will I find him?
Or looking at you, if you walk into Shalem, he will find you.
That's not creepy at all.
He has eyes everywhere. As I said,
Doesn't make it any less creepy.
No. And creepy is a word that has been used to describe him. Certainly. His manner is difficult. is not good in most social circles.
Great. Really know how to sell him.
I'm not selling him, I am just passing on the message.
And I'm sure I'll meet him. Maybe I'll learn something about myself.
Perhaps. Or maybe he will. You sounded very interested. But please, I'm sure you are tired from your journey, exertions. I'm sure there is a comfortable room on this boat. Not as comfortable as mine would be, but it is up to you where you would like to sleep this evening. We will probably make berth here and go into Kala's port with the tide in the morning.
I'd like to be alone.
Not normally the answer I get, but there is a first time for everything, I suppose.
It's surprising how watching a bunch of people die can do to you.
You get used to it.
I don't want to. Not unless I've caused it.
You look handy, anyway. Like you could cause some damage.
I've killed a beholder.
There are not many that can say that feat with such conviction as I believe them.
I had help, and quite frankly, my focus right now is on killing a certain elven general, so...
Which one?
And Kane.
Not the Davin, but that does not say much. Last elven general I heard of was Ben something.
Benkin.
No, yes.
Yeah, he's dead.
Well done.
No.
Not by your hand?
By Anne Kane's.
I did not know that was the criteria for promotion in the Elven army, but...
It's not. Ben Kane was helping the drow.
Certainly not an elf on the side of your drow. It's impossible.
He was a good man.
I will reserve judgment until I have seen such miracles with my own eyes. So
You show me to my room.
Though there are strange tellings of an elven lady who has taken over her family's holdings in the south of Shalem, and she seems to have freed all of her slaves and is paying them. I do not put much trust in the rumors, but...
I can't remember her name.
They are a bit mental in the south.
Don't look at me, I've lost my notebook.
But please, I will have
What was her name?
I will have someone show you to their room.
What was her name, Bri? Because I've completely forgotten it.
Or are we going to...
I'm sure she was a duchess. I don't remember the...
You genuinely knew her and called her ladyship.
Oh, I had her name.
Is it there?
Name. Well, we'll just look. We'll watch back. We'll find it. It's cool.
Okay. Okay. And you are shown out. Back to dice then. The bear shows you down to the bowels of the ship, back to the rear. And for the most part, people are moving around it, shuffling cargo from one side to the other. General maintenance is going on as you move. As you get to the rear of the ship, there is a locked door. The bear pulls out a heavy key and opens the padlock. and opens the door. As soon as the door is open, you can feel arcane energy flooding out at you. And as you walk in, there is a large glowing orb that seems to be chained to all four corners of this small room. And you can tell from where you are in the ship that you are at the very rear of the ship.
Will the bear will you let me walk in and look at it? I promise not to poke too much.
And as you walk in, you can see that there are rods affixed and with tapered pointed ends touching the large orb, which glows now with purple light. And you can see little pulses of energy running up and down the rods, which stick straight through the wood out the back of the ship.
What does it do?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Yeah.
I have the name of the Overseer, the Inquisitor, and the Clerical Elf, but I didn't write her name down.
Guidance.
I also have written down Looper, Werewolf, Hot.
Guidance, okay.
It's intelligence check, did you say?
Arcana.
Oh. Oh, God. Okay. 25.
25. Okay. From what you can see, there is a myriad of elemental energy mixed up in this orb. You check as well, and there seems to be a control rod, which doesn't quite touch the orb, but extends down out of the ceiling. And it would appear that you are now maybe 2 floors, but directly beneath the captain's cabin. And then above that, what would be the wheel of the boat. Another rod extends from it, almost touching, and appears to split off then on either side of what you know is the wooden brace for the rudder on the inside of the ship. From what you can tell, this would, if activated correctly, this would send an incredible burst of energy to the rear of the ship.
I think it's super. Basically, it's a jetpack for the boat.
It's an engine.
Would it so a sustained burst of energy, not just a quick fire of energy?
It can. You can see it potentially would regulate enough that it would change speeds. It could mimic normal sailing speed. It could go faster.
Is it in use all the time, or is it used only?
Currently does not seem to be in use. And the last time when you were on deck, the sail was down and full of wind, so it appeared to be how they were under power.
So this is how you're faster than all the other ships on the sea, huh?
Yeah.
It's a very cool thing. Thank you for showing me. I wish I had more time to poke it, but
he now points at you.
Yep.
Points at himself. Finger in front of his lips, and then goes, and then points back at you.
If I say anything, you'll kill me?
No.
It's a secret.
No.
I'd like to see you try, but I promise not to say anything.
Threatening a bugbear?
Gestures back up out of the ship.
Not threatening a bugbear. I am advising that it would be more of a challenge than they think. Could you show me 2 other things, if you have time?
Mm-hmm.
Can you show me the basics of how sails work, the basics of how anchors work? That should pretty much cover it. How the ropes connect the sail. So how you drop a sail down.
No. And it just like beckons you to follow.
Show me the rudder. Show me how
Beckons
rudder.
you to follow as you go back up onto the deck of the boat.
Next time we sail a fucking boat, I will know how to make it go through.
Shows you the basics then of directing and sailing a ship until you are all then finally situated in a large cabin, one deck below. And the door is closed as Handsome leaves you to your own devices.
I wouldn't have gone into the cabin. I sit on the boat and just sit and look out across the sea. I don't really want to sit with people.
Okay.
No offense, guys.
So the three of you in the cabin then.
Some taken.
One of my friends died and I lost my girlfriend. Anyway, sit out here.
The three of you in the cabin. You are left to your own devices.
You really don't have good luck with romantic relationships in these campaigns.
No. At least this one didn't betray me.
Yet.
I'll give him ideas.
Thanks, Greg.
Ariana's going to sit on her bed and meditate. Trying to work out, is it who she thought she heard earlier? And see if she can get that contact again.
Okay.
If not, Hades.
Ace? You and Sepsis?
Just have to meet myself there.
Okay.
Ace is going to be sort of settling in, trying to get the sea legs and oiling up some of the plate to make sure that it doesn't rust in the sea air.
This is such a good.
Sepsis?
Sepsis doesn't really have very much to do on a ship. So I guess I'm going to spend some time reading the book.
Okay, cool. It is early evening. So if you want to get a long rest out of it before dawn, you've got a good 4 hours of reading you can do.
Cool.
Just to tick that off there.
I am doing.
Um,
We're at 10% book read.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oriana. Okay.
Yeah.
Oriana, roll me a wisdom check. Not a saving throw, just a check.
19.
19. Okay.
I have +0 to my wisdom.
You meditate for a moment. It seems like seconds have passed. There is no answer. And in your frustration, you open your eyes. The last thing you saw before you closed them was Sepsis reading, Ace buffing and oiling their armor. Sepsis is now asleep, as is Ace. Armor oiled, book nowhere to be seen. However, they glow. There is a certain ethereal veil around them. Ace's is much brighter, sparkling white, pure and clean. It almost crackles with some kind of blue energy, like electricity. Sepsis is darker, duller. There seems to be some black energy that kind of travels across it. But it's unbroken, strong.
Surprising.
Both of them. There's someone else in the room. A figure with their back to you. Familiar white elven armor. And as they turn, Oriana, you blink. It's gone. Benkin no longer standing there. But you do hear another voice. Find a temple. I would speak with you. And that was Hades.
Any temple?
No, dear girl. One of my temples.
In Sharlem?
There are a couple.
Okay. It's been a long day.
Without you, my friend.
You have struggled so very much. Lost more than you knew you had. You are doing well.
I don't feel like it.
I know. You will be tempted.
What the fuck was that?
You will be tempted to stray from the path you were on. Do not give in to the sadness inside. Find a temple. I have a gift for you.
Okay, I trust you. I have to.
I wouldn't. Good night, Oriana. And you feel the presence leave you. And there's silence once again, apart from the creaking of the ship and the lapping of the waves.
I'm gonna go look for dice.
Okay.
Before Ori gets to me,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to find like a quiet part of the ship. I know that's hard on a ship, although not if it's reefing itself for the night and the anchor's down and stuff. I'd like to find somewhere quiet, see the waves. I'd like to.
So Dice wants to find out how to sail a ship, so her knowledge is the same as Dice's player, who knows how to sail.
Give or take.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I can't just tell her, but it doesn't work that way.
Okay, so yeah.
6.
Everyone apart from like a skeleton crew to make sure everything's safe and secure overnight.
Skeletons.
So there are some quiet parts of the ship.
Yeah, I'll just go find somewhere to sit. I'm gonna put my cloak hood up.
Okay.
I'm going to have a look at the lightning scar, my chest, just literally like part of my armor, and just look at it and sit there. And I'm going to get the sending stone out of my bag.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to hold it for an inordinately long time before I do anything with it. Just sort of moving it backwards and forwards and staring out at the sea and kind of trying to process everything that's happened. Because Dice has this kind of personality where she laughs off everything that happens to her.
Mm-hmm.
But on the inside, she's having a bit of a difficulty. She keeps losing things, so she's sad.
Okay.
I'd like to think some things at Flandel. My God, not like a real prayer, but like almost a one-sided conversation, which is Dice's version of praying, where she's just like, things are kind of shit at the moment. It's been a really interesting couple of months. Do you know where Antonius is? Of course you do. You probably do. I suspect you have more to do with Antonius than anyone would let on. Maybe. I don't know. That's pretty much it. And then through the sending stone, I just want to send to Sarahesh. And I want to say, I hate this. I miss you. I didn't want a scene, but I wish I was home with you or my mum. That's it. That's 23 words.
Takes a moment, but the stone does glow slightly in your hand, and you hear, just for you, I miss you too. It will be soon, in the grand scheme of things. But we will see each other again. If you do not return, well, I will see how well this chair does on the surface.
Don't reply. So I just put the stone back in the bag, and I'm going to sketch some sort of blueprints of how ships work, and just try and like lose myself in doodling blueprints and sketching things, and trying to work out how I would put together a better voice box for Dennis. I'm wondering if he's had it ripped out again already for being cocky. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
And it's doing that is when Oriana finds you.
Hey.
Hi.
To join me in my corner? It's nice. Quiet.
Yeah, I do.
I have water.
I'd like that. I think if I started drinking now, I wouldn't stop.
Hand her water. So how are you doing?
I keep seeing Benke. She's weird.
Break this down for me a little. When you said you're seeing Benken, like in his final moments, or...
I haven't tried sleeping yet, so we'll see how that goes.
Fun.
But I keep seeing astral plane. I've done it once on accident before, but now it just seems to be happening at random.
I don't know what to make of that, really. That's interesting.
No. Hades wants to talk to me. I need to find a temple in Shalem.
What? If it would help.
Well, look.
I'm sorry you had to see that, Ariana.
Well, I'm sort of glad I did, so now I know.
Yes. I wish I'd come with you.
I'm glad you didn't.
Shared trauma, something better, something, I don't know.
No. Yeah, I don't want to put you through this.
Still sad. I know I was trying to move along earlier because we needed to get out, and then there was the whole risk of drowning thing, and it always seems like we never get a chance to think about anything because then the next thing comes along.
We don't get a chance to grieve.
I don't think we're allowed.
No. I didn't even get to grieve you dying, really. I started, and then suddenly you were back. Which is, is the desirable result of somebody dying.
Sure. Yeah. It was,
It was casting sending and not getting a reply. It's different. Like when you ask somebody a question and they just don't answer, you can see them, but that silence is deafening.
well, your God has a lot of dealing with death. Perhaps he is a good person to speak to.
He's the god of the dead, not death.
I meant people who are dead, not actually death. Obviously, he doesn't go around killing people.
He's also the god of wealth, but everyone always looks that.
After the money the matron mother gave us, we're pretty wealthy now, so he's doing well there.
Yeah. Maybe that's why he wants to see me in the temple.
So you can take this off you and be like, it's my wealth now.
I just pay my patron.
You have to pay gods. I don't think I pay Sandal very often. Like, I make things. Does that count as payment?
To him, probably, yeah.
I fixed the automaton's voice box. I think it might have been ripped out by malicious. I'm not sure, but he seemed real pissed with her.
Oh. That might be why it didn't have a voice box.
Yeah, maybe. It could be funny.
Well, I mean, if they'll have the same result again, probably. Maybe it'll learn its lesson.
Maybe I should give him a spare before we go.
Maybe.
I'm not very good at comforting people when people die. I'm sad about Benkin too, but in Nidum, death was kind of, it was okay. You all got together and you had food and drink and you talked about the dead and it was almost...
I liked him.
I know.
I really liked him.
You said a couple of times, had the matron mother not also liked him? would have liked to spend more time with him.
Yeah, when he wasn't locked in a cell.
Yeah, that was stupid and a mistake, and I think she knows that.
That's one woman that if I ever see her again, I think I might actually punch her. I'm not stupid enough to take her in a fight, but...
I don't think I'd even risk punching her. She's, I think, more powerful than she lets on. She seemed pretty confident she could keep Felde if there was no one else there.
Let's be honest, you're well on your way to having a terrifying mother-in-law.
What do you think she'd be like at family events if I got her with my parents? Mom, Dad, this is the matron mother of the Underdark. Big friends with spiders.
And I'm fucking her daughter.
And this is my girlfriend, who is the princess of the Underdark.
Have you tried contacting her yet?
Yeah, I contacted her.
Are they okay?
Yeah, she's okay. She just said she missed me.
How? The stones, how do they work?
You each have one, and then once per day, I can send her a message.
Oh.
And she can send one back. I have a bunch. We've got 8 more sets of these. I'm hoping we can work out a way to get one to Dandelion.
That would be great, because I'm starting to worry about the context of those messages I'm sending. I'm happy for Ace, but I don't want to be involved.
Certainly not if it turns to sexting, although that would be the slowest sexual messages backwards and forwards. 1 a day. You're not going to...
Yeah, that's the problem. It's not 1 a day with me.
You know who I wish I could talk to?
Who?
My mum. I miss my mum.
Oh God, I haven't tried contacting Granny.
You only recently got the spell, and then everything was... I didn't want to ask when we were in the Underdark and things kept blowing up, and...
That's terrifying.
I could drop her a message now and see how she is. It's kind of late, but...
I'm scared she'll find me.
She's not going to find you. You're on a boat somewhere near Shalem.
Dice, you know full well that woman could find me anyway.
You probably wouldn't try. She's also not stupid. She'd like to know you're okay, though. She'd probably yell at you for not contacting her sooner.
Okay. What do I tell her? How do I put into a short message everything we've gone through?
You don't. You say, "Hi, Granny. I miss you. I'm okay. Are you okay? Are you safe?" And keep it simple.
She'll know something's wrong if I say that.
Say, "I miss you. Are you still beating up children with your rolling pin?"
That would probably be more like... Okay. I'm going to cast Sending to... I'm going to make Bri be an old gnome.
An elderly gnome.
If she replies. Which she fucking better, because that could traumatize Ariana. Oh God. So, hey, Granny. It's me. I'm okay.
For a second there, I thought you were doing Adele.
Hello, it's me. I have wings now.
That's the important bit.
How is home? And you?
A new home.
Okay.
Yeah.
It takes a moment.
God. I don't know why I gave her such a horrifying matriarchal code.
You did.
6 months, mind.
Mommy issues, that's why.
6 bloody months. Not a word. And all you've got to say, "I've got wings now."
That's the end.
Is this how I brought you up?
You're over 25, I think, right?
No, that was 25.
Right.
Yeah, she's pissed off with me. I'm sorry. A lot, 2 words, has happened. Just watched a friend die.
Can I just, before you send the second message?
Yeah.
Can you roll a d20 for me, please?
Yeah. Oh, so you remembered. I'm so proud.
I'm proud of you.
He's getting
10.
it. He's learning.
It's
It was
10.
10. Okay, cool.
He's learning.
Completely forgot what I said, so I'm gonna have to start that message again.
Right.
A lot has happened. No, happen's only one word. Watched friend die. Almost at Shalem. I miss you. Yeah, we'll just do it that. I can't think of anything else to say to her.
Don't miss me, you silly girl. Concentrate on you. Stay alive. I'll see you again. Love. That's it.
Okay.
How is she?
She's good. Told me to stop worrying about stop missing her.
Yeah, that's something you can turn off. Yep.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Says she'll see me again. Which I don't doubt.
That woman would hunt you down if you'd moved to the other side of the planet, or, west of Avalon.
Can you roll another d20?
Yeah. 13.
You looked so hopeful when you were like, no. Even if we were west of Avalon, I'm pretty sure she would still hunt you down and find you.
The trees. She's just the trees keep telling her.
That's weirdly unnerving.
Druid.
My parents, about as magical as teapots. They're just nice people. I don't know how I came into existence, and I wonder how they're doing with Elsa and Anna.
Possibly quite well.
Probably. Hopefully it's taken away some of the sting of their only child accidentally saving an elf and then having to...
I wonder if Granny ever took anybody else on.
God, I dread to think. Did anyone else cope?
Well, I mean, I think it was me that was the handful. Nobody else was going to cope with me, were they?
No. No, my mum thought you were a bad influence.
Everyone's mum thought I was a bad influence.
She loved you, though, and she was always happy when you came for tea, but she thought you were a bad influence.
Yeah. I was a bad influence unless I was delivering babies.
Yeah.
Or when I was working with Granny.
Can anyone hear Bucky snoring in the background? Sorry.
A little bit, yeah. It's all right.
Snoring his head off.
So, I was okay unless it was, I wasn't okay unless I was working. And I still question to this day people going to the local druid as their midwife.
A weird choice. No one ever came to me, thankfully, because honestly, if someone went into labour in front of me, I'd probably just go, that's sticky.
It's not sticky at all.
Knew a lot about animal husbandry. Why not?
It sure is sticky. Blood's sticky. And anything that comes out of there is sticky. Sticky.
I mean, I've hot water and towels. It's really not that bad. The noise is the worst thing.
Oh, sorry.
I meant the screaming. Dice, not the...
You went specific. That's not my fault.
We should get some sleep. We're going to use the tide to go into port tomorrow.
I think I might just stare at the water for a little bit longer. I'll come soon. Unless you really need a hug, in which case I'll move.
I'll go to bed. Probably going to take Fives with me. Not that way.
I think Fives is particularly snuggleable, but your call. Worst teddy bear ever, but your choice.
I've slept worse places. That's closest thing to Ben King right now.
It's true. I love you, Ari.
Love you too.
You'll be okay.
Let's see if I see any more dead people, and I get up and walk away.
As Ari's walking away, I just go, I see dead people.
Okay.
And I'm just going to wrap myself back in my cloak and go back to...
I head back to the room. Along the way, I find Fives, and I just take his hand and pull him in with me. I'm going, did you sleep in here? I know you don't sleep, but you're sleeping in here.
He stands next to the hammock you've been given.
And I make him lie down. He's getting in the hammock.
Okay. It definitely strains the wood, but it seems to hold.
Sepsis is in the one underneath.
Oriana is used to straining the wood, in fairness. I love the sound of pain then.
Most of you, when you eventually find rest, have a dreamless sleep. All, in fact, apart from sepsis.
Woohoo!
Almost as soon as you close your eyes, you blink them open again, and you are holding the book. The book shines with a dark red energy, like blood. The words, intelligible, easy to read, swim across the pages.
It says intelligible and easy to read on it.
Mm-hmm. You look up. You are in a windswept, grey, sandblasted land that you've seen many times before. With the figure, familiar to you now, walking towards you as you remain seated, reading the book. Sepsis. You found my book.
Indeed.
Are you enjoying? Is it a good read?
It's really very hard to say. I spend time reading it, and while I do that, it feels like I'm intent, and I'm studying every word, and I'm taking in every thought. But then when I think back over what I just read, it's just whispers and urges and no clear meaning. But it's powerful.
It is. You find yourself now, Sepsis, at a crossroads of sorts.
Yes, I'm in Blazing Squad.
That book will give you great power.
You're not about to tell me that there's great responsibility attached to it, are you?
You will have a responsibility to the book, yes. Have you ever done a good deed, even accidentally, Sepsis?
It depends on your definition.
Something selfless, something that would help another, even without you
Selfless.
meaning to.
No, not selfless, no.
And take care. If you give yourself to that book and do a good deed, it will disappear, never to return to you. The book will know. But if you continue to read, spend time, and come to an understanding with the book, it will give you its secrets. A great many powers. But that path is a dark one. But most walk alone. Difficult to do with companions such as yours. But it will help answer my question. And he waves his hand to the sky and the land beyond him. And the air shimmers, and again you see the huge buildings made of stone, iron, and glass. The strange metal contraptions moving at incredible speeds between the buildings. People dressed in all manner of strange clothing, talking to each other on strange devices over incredible distances. You see an almost complete absence of magic. And then the image disappears. That book, to a mortal, should show you where that place is, or at least how to get there. I must also come with a warning. below the earth, that book was hidden without a trace. Now you have returned to the surface with that book. Others will look for it. They will know it has surfaced once more. You have put yourself slightly more danger than you were in before.
I will kill anyone who tries to take it from me.
I hope that would be your answer. And I hope you're up to the task, as you are currently my favorite.
If I had a heart, I'm sure that it would be warmed.
Yes. If you had a heart, I might like you less. Sleep well, Sepsis.
It's the automaton this far from the face.
Be studious. And he glances down at the book, and when you look up, he is gone. The book is no longer in your arms. And you are swaying in a hammock, and you can see the sun rising through cracks in the wood and out the small window of the cabin you've been given. You hear a bell ring on the deck above you, and everyone stirs into wakefulness.
Everyone stirs into Wakefield.
And you hear a
Sat
loud,
up on fives.
booming half-orc's voice.
Straining the wood?
Land ho!
No, at the moment she's on a boat.
No, you can't call me that at the moment.
She's a boat ho.
General Boto.
Sorry, joke from a completely different stream. But
Just
yes.
play Raft. Oh wait, no, I'm
With-
Trash Ho in Raft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Derelict Ho.
With the call of land ho and feet rushing towards the upper deck, we will leave it there. Because it's 9 minutes to 11, and my description of class is a bit longer than that's going to give me.
I tell you what, escaping from the Drow City and watching all of our friends die really feels like a milestone in our journey, doesn't it?
Starting that
mean-
again, are we?
Well, it's been like 2 weeks, so it's time
I wasn't
to
going to say anything, but
Just feels very, significant. Something that we'll always remember. And look back on.
Lando.
Something that we'll always remember and look back on as an important experience, a real, milestone.
I'm glad you feel that way. I'm glad you're that engaged in the storyline. But anyway, yes, thank you for joining us for episode 50 of the Chronicles of Nidum. Episode
Just gonna
50.
say, we're leaving that on Oriana sitting up in a hammock while sat on fives.
Yes.
Like she slept face down on. It was like wings just hanging off the edges each side.
I fell asleep literally in the corner of the boat, wrapped in things. So I'm going to wake up. You know when you've slept really awkwardly and you wake up and you're like,
But yes, thank you very much.
Dice is going to have disadvantage on perception checks to see anything slightly to her right for the next 2 sessions.
been there.
Oh, Edie's already chucking them in the chat. Okay, yes, you can jump in the chat. Please go over to Loki Battle Mats, check them out. Tell them we sent you. There's no way you can do that, but that would be cool if you could. But yes, thank you very much. Pop over to Loki Battle Mats and Blink Dog Dice.
All that.
Show them some love. Blink Dog Dice, you can absolutely tell that we sent you. And join us again next week for episode 51 of the Chronicles of Nidum. I can't believe we're still saying that and people are still watching us. Thank you again to those who've been with us from session 1. Thank you for those who have joined us and then made the incredible slog and jumped over to our YouTube channel and gone back and watched all like the previous episodes. Thanks guys. But yeah, I can't get over it's 50 episodes. It's why we got Richard to balance me out. Okay, because
heck of a milestone number.
I'm much nicer because you're all still alive. So it was episode 45. Give it a rest. Okay, so join us next week as the party embark on their first adventure.
No doubt you will hear sepsis and their incredibly bad French accent again.
No.
You don't know that.
It's going to cause me physical harm.
I can't wait. But yes, thanks again, everyone who has watched, will watch, or continues to watch us. It means a lot that you guys have engaged with the characters and the story, and you keep coming back. It means a great deal. Because, all right, we'd still do it. Even if you weren't watching, but it does bring like a really kind of cool sense of enjoyment that there are people going, no, oh my god, I can't believe that happened. It's fun. But yeah, thanks guys. And as always,
just excited to traumatize more than 4 people.
Yeah. Emotionally destroy more than 4 people. But again, as always, stay safe, especially in the current climate. With what's going on in the world. Take extra special care of you and your loved ones. We love you guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.